Hey guys, welcome back to Burnout's Hot Rod Shop. On this episode, we're going to chase this fly around. Probably not. We're going to do something a little bit different though. I'm outside. I'm actually going to use the hood of the Ram as my table, but we're going to check out some meme kits. So I've got the ICON meme kit 1.0, the ICON meme kit 2.0, and the KOBALT competitor with the ICON 2.0. So I'm going to lay these out. We're going to jump in, take a quick look, and I'll let you guys know what I think, what my opinion is on them. And if you're looking at a kit like this, maybe which way I would go if I was you. Might be a little different than the way I went. We'll have to see. So let me get this flipped around and we'll check them out. All right. So here we are in the sunshine. Gonna take a quick peek at these. We'll start off with the ICON 1.0. This thing has a nice plastic case, metal clip on it. When we look at it, it's a good selection of bits, a ratchet, and an extension. So with this, the versatility in this guy is really in this ratchet and extension. So this thing, you can slide it in if you line up this little groove, and it will go all the way deep. You can make a T-handle out of it. Or if you rotate it so that the groove is not lined up with the white dot any longer, you see that white dot. Gotta go to the other side, that's right. That becomes a limiter on this side. Now it only goes that far so that you can use it as an extension at full length and not worry about it sliding down. This is a flex head. Push the button in. You can pivot wherever you like. That's pretty cool. Pretty versatile. I like this kit. I keep this one on my desk. It works great for doing things like putting together kids' toys, taking battery covers off, that kind of thing. It's a nice little desk set. You usually find them on sale. I know I bought my wife one. I think it was $25. So not a bad little set. It does have an adapter if you wanted to use a 1/4-inch socket with it. You can do that too. So that's the ICON 1.0 that people have known and loved for a few years now. We'll kind of move him up out of the way. Actually, we'll throw him down here. Here. Yeah, we'll just take him out of screen. Next up is the ICON 2.0. I think this one came out a year or two ago. Very similar case. It has the metal switch. You pop it open. But this one comes with SAE and metric sockets. It comes with the nut driver. The ratchet is a bit different. And probably the biggest complaint on this one for most people is that it's a standard 1/4 drive ratchet now. There's no more pass-through. So while you can still use this end to drive bits, you don't really have the ability to slide through this end and use it as a T-handle or anything like that. Still the same flex head style. And of course, reversible. You get sockets ranging from 3/16 up to 9/16. You get this 1/4 drive handle. Unfortunately, it's not a pass-through to use as an extension. I think that's one place they really kind of dropped the ball on this guy. I'll try not to kick the camera. And then when we come over here, we've got an adapter for the bits. And then in metric, you keep them in there nice and tight, but not too tight. We've got a 5mm. And then we go up to a 14mm. And you can see they've really kind of went after Snap-on with the ICON socket style. Some people will tell you they come off the same assembly line. They absolutely do not. The ICONs are made in Taiwan. They do not use the same vendor even as Blue Point for their Asia source stuff. That's all just, ICON fanboys trying to make everybody think that they're buying Snap-on. These are great in their own right. You don't need to say, but it's Snap-on just rebadged. Any of that kind of junk. One of the cool parts with this kit is the bits set up at an angle. You get the small extension, the long extension. You get the driver extension and a swivel. This retails for about $90, but it's usually on sale for right around $50 to $60. And finally, we've got the newest player to the game, and that's KOBALT. This is a nice case, a little bit larger. Unfortunately, the lock is plastic. I've not had any issues with this, but the metal one just seems to be a lot better made. So let's dive inside. So we open up this package, and the first thing we get is a KOBALT sticker. Come on, ICON, you could have given us a sticker. But from there we look at this, and it is very similar. So we've got about the same bits, same extensions, same swivel. We don't have the bit extension like we had in the other kit. We've got the same sizes in the sockets. We've got a ratchet, we've got a nut driver. So we pull this out. This nut driver, to me, feels better in my hand than the ICON one. That's all a personal preference thing. When we look at sockets, they're standard KOBALT sockets. This one is the bit driver. And then here we have a 4mm. And it goes up to 14. So we've got one extra socket. And then with the SAEs, you get blinded by the sun, a 1/8, up to 1/2. So a little bit different range. In this kit, you can see that there's a post. These do hold on, they click on. And let's see. Not that you can see it well, but they do hold firm. So that's good. You can see a lot of the same style package. Both very good tools. Last year, I bought 2 of these, one to keep in each of my motorcycles with saddlebags for any roadside emergency. So one in the Victory that I had, and one in my Road King. And I picked this up this year to check it out. Oh, we didn't look at the ratchet, did we? Didn't mean to exclude that. Here we've got a ratchet that's much more like a standard ratchet. It's got better length to it, definitely feels meatier. It's a 90 tooth, reversible, but unlike the Icon, it does not have a flex head. So this one has a better feel to it, but no flex head. So very similar. I think the advantage the Icon has is the flex head. The advantage the KOBALT has is a sticker. Looking at the cases, the Icon case is a little bit smaller and has a better lock, but this one is not that much larger. And now let's talk about what really counts. MSRP, $90 on the Icon. MSRP on the KOBALT, $35. So you can almost buy 3 KOBALTs for what one Icon's going to cost you. That leaves you a few dollars to put a pair of pliers or something in here and still be under what you paid for the Icon. If you know, also when it comes to new tools, KOBALT, the contractor that makes KOBALT tools, also makes Husky, and they also make Quinn for Harbor Freight. I'm not sure that they make the Icon. I'm not sure who makes the Icon stuff. I wasn't able to find that. But there's many stories about people buying a KOBALT set and getting a Husky or Quinn socket in, not necessarily this set, but the mechanic sets, and vice versa. You know, they've seen Quinns with KOBALTs, they've seen Huskies with Quinns. So it's kind of proof in the pudding that they're all the same socket until they go through that final manufacturing step, or they do the rolled on stamping for the naming and size. So it's up to you guys, whichever one you want to get. Like I say, these are handy in the motorcycle. This guy does not take up a lot of space on my bike, which is good because in a Road King, while it's got saddlebags, they're not massive. The Victory is a much larger saddlebag. So every little inch of space counts. Hope that helped you guys out. I'll flip the camera around and we'll close this one out. So I hope you guys like that product review. I just want to give you guys a quick look at some of the toolkits I buy that are new. You know, I'm always showing you the vintage stuff and the stuff I really like, the stuff that keeps my shop going, keeps me out here working on cars and doing the things I like to do. But in a pinch, having one of these guys in the bike is awesome. It's a new kit. If something breaks, I can take it back. This one I can take back to Harbor Freight, and they will replace, they'll open one up. They'll pull, if I break a socket, they'll pull that socket out, hand it to me, and I'm good to go. With this one, same thing. Kind of the same thing. If I break a socket, break the ratchet, and I take it back to Lowe's, they want you to take the entire package back. So you got to take this whole kit back with the broken piece. They'll take the entire kit and they'll hand you a new kit, and you've got all new pieces. So just kind of depends on how you want to do it. I've heard that some people have had a hard time if the kit's missing any pieces. So I've heard where people have lost a piece from a mechanic set and it won't warranty any piece in the set because of that. I've not had that experience, so that's just all hearsay. I wouldn't bother with it. I don't think it's a big issue. So when it comes down to it, would I choose putting the Icons in the bikes again? Or would I pick the KOBALTs? I'll tell you, for my desk, it's still the Icon. This does what I need when it comes to taking out star bit fasteners, safety fasteners, all that kind of stuff. When it comes to the bikes, if I had to do it all over again, can't compete with the $35 price tag and getting basically the same set. I've kind of become an Icon fanboy, or Harbor Freight fanboy. I was always a Sears Craftsman guy. I still buy some Craftsman stuff, not a lot, because I don't like dealing with Lowe's on the returns or doing the mail-in. I'll tell you, in my opinion, I think that Harbor Freight, when it comes to warranties and Icon, or warranties on all their Icon, Quinn, all the lifetime stuff, they understand what Sears did to make people happy. I don't think Lowe's does that. I don't think Home Depot does that nearly as well. They do it, but I don't think they do it like Sears. You know, the closest thing to the old Sears Craftsman days we have today is Harbor Freight. Unfortunately, it's not made in USA. It's a lot of Taiwanese and Chinese stuff, but there are some things made in USA. You know, you can go after the large ICON pry bar. I think it's like $100, but it is a Mayhew. Yeah, it's a Mayhew. I had to think. I almost called it the other one. There's two pry bar makers in the U.S., but it's a Mayhew. It's made in USA. There are some other stuff. I get Super Lube there. Super Lube is made in USA. I get Tub of Towels. They just had a 30% off anything under $20 coupon this past weekend. So I stocked up on Tub of Towels and Super Lube. And I picked up actually some Pittsburgh ratchets too. The ball head ones. I've constantly looked for ball head ones. I don't, probably won't use them that often. I didn't want to pay the price for the Icon at 40 some odd dollars a piece. But the Pittsburghs were all under $20, and then with 30% off, it made them, $10 or something a piece. So it gives me a set of ball head ratchets if I ever need them. So you guys decide what you want to do. For me, Harbor Freight's closer, but Lowe's isn't that far. It's about twice the distance, but we're talking a 5-minute drive versus a 10-minute drive, so it's nothing major for me. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this one. Remember, until next time, I'm Burnout. I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.